Okay, so what I have right here is a small extension cord that I bring inside of the chamber. And how it works is I have one end of it, this end, has a tiny bit, just a tiny bit cut off, or is bare wire. All three wires are bare. Now how I do this, how I connect this to, sorry about this. I connect this to the oxygen on the inside, the oxygen line. I have to tie this a certain way. So I take these, take this cord, which normally, give me 1 second. I take the cord, I'm going to separate it. Okay. So I separate it like that. Then I leave probably about that amount, just a very small gap right there, just a very small hole, so it'll be tight when it goes onto that oxygen hookup, and then I twist it. I twist it pretty tightly. I don't know how well this is going to work. I'm not that good at this, but haven't done this many times. So there's a little hole in there. So I take this, put it on there, go back as far as I can. I want it to go as far down as I can. Get it in there and then twist it some more. On both sides. So it's on there and it's pretty far back. Hopefully this will work. So I just showed you the way to tie it, but it's usually always tied this way when I have it done. So what I do is I just have all this cord in there. I wait for the chamber to fully inflate, and that's when I eventually hook up that end to it. But actually I do that last, because the first thing I do see, it's pretty tight on there, so I probably shouldn't even remove it. First thing I do is I take these bags. I have those 3 separate wires. They're all made into bare wires for a pretty long distance. Enough to wrap them around my head. At least one of them wraps around my head about 2-3 times. So when it's fully inflated, I take the wire out of the bag. I do it one at a time. So I already have this wire out of one of the bags. I wrap it around my head, tie it in the back of my head. Then I'll take another wire out the bag, wrap it around my head, connect it to that wire, tie it around the head. Then the last wire, do the same thing. After I'm done doing that, I'll lay back on the pillow, and then I will take that other end, put it in there, push it back as far as I can, and then I will take the oxygen mask, the oxygen mask line, push it back in there. Hopefully it stays. We'll find out. Let's see. I think it's on there pretty well. Yeah, it's on there pretty well. Good enough. I think it's holding pretty well. And so the way that I ground it, that I have it grounded to the chamber, is on the other side. I have the extension cord, the longer extension cord, a separate one. I have the bare wire of all three of these wires connected around the oxygen hookup. So it's metal to metal. This metal connects to that metal. There's nothing tampering with the electrical connection right here. There's no rubber in between. So what I have is it's zip tied on there so it doesn't get loose. I connect that, and on the other side of this long extension cord, I chose a long extension cord because never know where I'm gonna have to ground this, how far a outlet is. Here's the extension cord. Here's the plug-in. What I did was I just took an extension cord, I cut the plug-in off, I replaced it with a different plug-in, and I took every prong out of it except the ground prong, and I tied all three of these wires to that ground prong. So I always plug this into there. When it's all in full, when I'm ready to go in there, I got the oxygen machine on. I just plug this on, wait for it to inflate. When it's fully inflated, take the bags out, wrap all these wires around my head, then connect the other end around the oxygen line on the inside, connect the oxygen mask to that. When I'm done and I'm deflating, I usually just leave the wire that's connected to the oxygen. I leave it connected, and these other ends, all these wires that are wrapped around my head, I'll put them in bags so they don't get entangled. And I'll just repeat the process and do that every time I go in. That's how I ground.